Hey, what's up, Star Wars Destiny fans? This is Symbio here with Kai, and we're with T3 Gaming, and we have a very special episode for you, a video that we're calling the top 3 for the cards of the entire Awakening cycle. Now, we're actually we're doing top 3 for each of the categories, and the Awakening cycle are all the cards from the 2 starter sets from Awakenings, Kylo and Rey, and the Spirit of Rebellion set, and then also Empire at War. So it's all the black box designs, and that is considered one cycle or rotation. So those will be valid and standard for one more year, and we thought it'd be cool to review what we thought at the end of the year were the top 3 cards in each category. So what we consider top 3, me and Kai decided were basically like what we felt made the biggest impact as we saw in the game. It was either the most played or kind of like almost an auto include, right?
Yeah. And we also are going to have some honorable mentions, just cards that in the past were good or they're still good but didn't make the cut.
Yeah, exactly. It was definitely very hard trying to pick top 3. And so we're going to do top 3 hero characters, top 3 villain characters, and then of course move on to upgrades, events, supports, and then also battlefields. Now we're doing neutrals for everything else besides characters because we don't really have a lot of neutral characters right now. So let's get started. We're going to try to be quick. We're going to go ahead and start with, and just want to say, you guys of course might disagree with us, and like I said, this is really hard to do, trying to pick top 3. And so of course everybody's going to have their own opinion, so definitely let us know in the comments what you guys thought were the top 3. I'd love to hear everybody else's opinions. So these are the top 3 heroes that we saw. Kai, why don't you talk about the first one there?
So we have Rey, the Force Prodigy, a 10 health blue character, and she was really impactful in the beginning of the game because you could play Poe and her before
Poe Rey.
Yeah, yep. Poe Rey, and it was really fast and could burst a ton of damage and kill you like first round of the game with thermal detonators and stuff.
Same with Han Rey.
Yep. And so Rey had a lot of action cheating because of her ability with Hold Up Blaster and Vibro Knife and Force Speed and all, like taking 4 actions, killing you. But Rey had a huge impact in the game.
Yeah.
And still is played today a lot of times.
She is, and she never, I don't think, ever really won any big tournaments, but she was just always around with her action cheating. Yeah, so I think she's just a big impact character. All right, and then we decided Maz was actually very good again. Now Poe Maz was a huge thing in Spirit of Rebellion when it first came out, and then they nerfed Poe, which was a good thing, but Maz didn't really get changed at all, other than, right, did she get changed at all? Yeah, no. And so she's super powerful with being able to resolve up to 2 of your dice immediately after activating her. We don't see a lot of her right now, maybe with Mace a little bit.
But just some fun decks with her, but she had a huge impact in the game early, like before Poe was nerfed.
Yep, and we're also kind of thinking that as this top 3 for people who are coming into the Legacies cycle, what cards from the Awakenings might be really good. Maz being 8/11 is going to pair really well with almost everybody.
Oh, in the new Obi-Wan, she might get higher in the play. Again.
Oh yeah, definitely. With Obi-Wan, Maz is definitely going to be a thing. 1911. All right, moving on. We've got, what is this guy over here?
Qui-Gon Jinn. Now you might think, well, why is he in here? You might just rather put Poe. Well, Qui-Gon Jinn has been a loved character since the beginning of Awakenings. He's just a solid character. He's had a partner from each set. He's got Rey, and then he had Rey through mostly of
Awakenings and Spirit, and now, never went away.
No, and then now we got Kanan, Qui-Gon, which is a top tier deck. Qui-Gon Jinn is just a really good character. He's got good damage, good shields, and good for his cost, and good health. Yeah, and if you look at all 3 of these, they have great abilities, right? Yeah.
This is action cheating, and then this allows you to ping damage. So, like, this is the value of good characters. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We're going to just quickly do an honorable mention. Honorable mention for the heroes goes to Kanan Jarrus.
You could put Poe in there.
Yeah,
too.
you could put. So just so you guys know, the 2-player set is actually part of the Legacies cycle, so we're not including any 2-player stuff in this. Otherwise, you might be asking where is Poe 2 and that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, yeah, Kanan's really good. He came out late with the Empire at War set, so he didn't make as much of an impact, but he's definitely making a big impact now.
Huge impact now for his cost, and he's just a great character for his ability too.
All right, now we're going to move into the villains. And why don't we start with your favorite here? Why don't you talk about this guy?
He's a 13 health character from Awakenings. He's just been a fun, really good character. Darth Vader can put out a ton of damage, make your opponent choke their resources with the 2 disrupt, get rid of mitigation, and as he's doing there, he's choking you.
Yep.
And also like slicing you down.
Making you discard cards.
He's just a great character. He can do damage, mill, and choke.
And he won the Worlds last year, so how can you not include him? People still love him to this day, even though there's a Rebel Magna Guard, there's Rebel, Rebel Magna Guard, the Vader Magna Guard. So anyway, yeah, very good character. And then second, we have, so Villains was really hard to pick. We decided Jango had such a big impact at the beginning of the year.
Jango Veers,
Jango Bala Trooper. I mean, his was the first big action cheating everybody was scared of, right?
And Rey.
Yeah. But Jango kind of made more of an impact on the metagame. And then now with Jango Phasma, he's coming back, and I actually honestly think that in Legacies, Jango's going to see more play too.
Yeah, because you can play him with the...
You can play him with Boba for 1 die, but...
what's her name? I forgot what her name was. Afra?
Oh yeah, Dr. Afra, yep. So I think Jango is one of those characters he's made a big impact on the game. He's got a great ability, and we're going to see more of him. And then what do we got here? Well, who's this dude on the skanky looking dude on the right?
This weird Balatic. We all thought he was terrible in the beginning, but he is, it's sad to say, but he's like the best character from Awakenings probably.
Right.
5-die villain, all the cheap FN decks that used to be back in the day.
Yep.
Jango, Bala Trooper.
Who would have thought some little gang leader who had like 5 seconds in the film would get this much play, right?
And his ability is really good. You could reactivate him with all the redeploy weapons on Rainbow 5. He's just a really good character for his cost. 811.
811, and I think that's the thing. A lot of this, like Vader's one of the only highest cost cards, but he's balanced out with all that health. Bala is super cheap for what he gives you. All right, so trying to be quick here. We got a couple honorable mentions, we'll just say, because we couldn't decide. This dude who doesn't get much play anymore.
FN2199. Or nines, whatever. He is a 11 health red character. Everyone knows that. Everyone probably hates this character still from this day.
Yep, from Kylo 2 FN.
Yep, but he was an honorable mention because he was played so much.
Yeah, once Spirit Rebellion came out, now he is 12-15, right?
Yes.
For his cost, so
he still
the balance of the Force changes.
Sort of be playable, but...
He could be played. So we wanted to give him an honorable mention, and then also this guy was an honorable mention because he still sees a pretty decent amount of play. I think as soon as he came out, he was getting played as emo kids, and he's just so aggressive. And I think that definitely... is important to know, Darth Vader. So, all right, moving on to, so no neutral characters. We're going to move on to hero upgrades. And hero upgrades, we're going to go ahead and start with, let's start with the oldest first. This amazing card.
Second Chance.
Go ahead and talk about Second Chance.
So Second Chance is a 3-cost yellow upgrade ability. It's yellow character only, and it has an ability. When the attached character would be defeated, it heals 5 damage instead and discards the silver from play. Now this can keep Sabine alive, Han alive, any yellow hero character alive.
Pretty much a must-play in any yellow hero deck.
Right now, to this day, is still a must-play in any yellow deck.
Yep. All right, and then we got DL44 Heavy Blaster Pistol. This is another kind of auto-play for any kind of yellow range damage. It's got Ambush. It also has this great ability where when you play it, the other opponent has to remove a die, and 2/3 damage sides. It does have 2 blanks, but hey, with 2/3 damage sides, what are you gonna do? Now, it sees, of course, autoplay and Sabine Ezra right now, and it's still, I think, one of the strongest yellow hero weapons out there, right?
Yes, probably.
Okay, and lastly, why don't you talk about handcrafted here?
Handcrafted light bow. Now, this made the cut because when it came out, people thought, Tiny Grimes, shout out to him, he thought that this card was really good, and it was really good. But a lot of decks couldn't really have the mixed damage. It sort of had to have one or the other. And,
right.
But now with the R2P2,
now the shields are a thing?
Yeah, and R2P2, it can get rid of shields. It's got mixed damage with R2P2, which it already has. It's a 3-cost. Its special is just amazingly good. It can basically do 5 damage if your opponent has 3 shields. But handcrafted light bow is just a really, really good upgrade now.
Yeah, and it's going to get even better with Yoda and all the special chaining going on, unless they nerf that. So, all right, so those are the heroes. We don't have a hero upgrade. What were we calling that? Concession prize or whatever. But all right, so let's go to the neutral upgrades. This is
probably the boringest here.
You mean the neutral upgrades are also the hardest.
Yeah,
so we're gonna start with the oldest.
Holdout Blaster is a 2-cost.
From Awakenings.
Yep, 2-cost gray, ambush redeploy weapon. It's just so good. It's ambush redeploy. It has a good damage potential. It's got a resource. It got 1 blank, but still, it can do so much. First round of the game, it's got redeploy. It's just
Holdout Blaster is pretty much just if you're playing range, you're playing Holdout Blaster. It's like one of those things. You got to have it, and it was hard to get in the Awakenings set.
It was
for some weird reason. So it's one of those cards that everybody wants. All right, second we've got. So I'm gonna. Just in case we forgot, sorry to tell you what the sets were. This is from Awakenings. 4-speed is from Spirit of Rebellion, still probably the most valuable card next to this guy, Ancient Lightsaber here. 4-speed has made such a big impact on the game since the beginning. It's hard to not include it in this neutral set. It's pretty much... It's maybe not an autoplay as much as it used to be with Rend Out and that kind of thing, and then no cheating coming up, but it's still a very, very good card, being able to get 2 actions, focus, shields. And then we've got here Ancient Lightsaber. Ancient Lightsaber, one from Empire at War, also a legendary, is so powerful in the ability to heal and do melee damage, and also just anti-mill, right?
Yeah, it's just good, because you can heal and place it at the bottom of your deck, so you can never be milled unless they mill from the hand, which any Jabba deck will do.
And it's got that +3 side.
Yeah,
which
like +3 can just top it off.
Yep. So, okay, now you guys are probably going to disagree with us on these, maybe. Ancient Lightsaber is one of those things where, okay, it doesn't get play in every deck, but again, it has such a powerful effect on the meta and what's played. That's why we included it. All right, so consolation prizes here go to Vibro Knife. Now, there's a lot, so this one was really hard. We're just going to quickly mention Vibro Knife, Mind Probe, and Force Illusion. Real quick, Vibro Knife.
A 2-cost ambush weapon.
Spirit of Rebellion.
Yeah, Spirit of Rebellion.
And why didn't it make the cut?
It didn't make the cut because now, there's Holdout Blaster that's better than it nowadays, and then the 2 other ones are just not must-play, 4-speed and Ancient. And Vibro Knife was played so much, but now it's nerfed, and it's okay.
Still good, but it's just nobody's playing it as much anymore.
Ancient is better because it's got a heal ability, and it's got a +3 instead of a +2. So.
Yep. And Mind Probe, again, really good with Holocron, and had so much play in the very beginning of this year in the Awakening cycle. It's such a great card for this cycle.
It's still played, sort of.
It's still played, maybe not so much, but because I think it made such a big impact on the meta, we had to include, or it's a consolation. Force Illusion is one of those cards that came out in Spirit of Rebellion, but that's making more of an impact in the last couple months, right?
Yep.
All right. So, getting rid of those, we are going to move to villain weapons. Again, a fairly difficult one. Sorry, villain upgrades. Let's start with this, Kai, one of your favorites that you used to play all the time.
Yep, Holocron, a 0-cost equipment upgrade. Blue, his Sith Holocron was just a great card. It could get out Mind Probes for free, Force those for free, any, big, high blue ability weapon, which was just great, and you don't have to spend those resources. And you can also pay a resource to roll it out. It's got a focus. It's like the Force Speed. It's really a must-play in any blue villain deck because, one, it's good for getting out high-cost weapons. It's got a focus. It's got resources.
High-cost abilities, because you can't use it on weapons, but yes. Like Force Lightning, Mind Probe.
It's just great.
Yeah, and I think Holocron, once Legacies, we're going to see what villain abilities we're going to get. It's going to be an auto-include, right?
With the Force Wave thing.
People were really, Force Wave. We were really upset Hero Pit players when this card came out first from Awakenings.
We were like, ah!
Yeah, because we were like, oh my god, these villains, they're cheaters. All right, F11D rifle, also from Awakenings, a redeploy weapon. It's got great damage potential. Still sees a lot of play in any kind of ranged deck that deals with that wants redeploy. And then the 2 indirect damage probably is what invented indirect damage is this weapon.
Y-wing,
and the Y-wing.
Test and see if it was good or not. And it's great. So.
And then lastly, tell us why the LL30 should be in this. I kind of picked that one mostly.
Because it's 2 resources. It's got ambush redeploy. It's got 2 solids, A+2, and another die, a special that can turn a die to a size showing range.
Perfect for a range deck with lots of 2, 2, 2, +2, right?
Yeah. Ambush redeploy is always going to be good. Any card that has ambush redeploy is probably going to be played in any deck. So L30 made this cut.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to go to the runner-ups, or whatever. Why am I a bit spacing on that word? Consolation prizing.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Talk about the DH17 for us here.
So
real quick.
DH17 Blaster is a 1-cost
from Awakenings.
From Awakenings, yes. It's got so much damage potential. It's
for a one drop, right?
1 cost. It's the exact same as holdout blasters, except it doesn't have any resource.
We'll compare.
But it's got double blanks, but still, it's just so good for 1 cost.
All right, Z6 was also kind of a honorable mention because it has redeploy and it was played so much with FN. And then you got X8 Sniper, which we actually wanted to include. It definitely, because it's from Empire, it didn't have as big of an impact this year, Empire at War, but this is an amazing weapon with ambush. If it had redeploy, it would be absolutely bonkers, but being able to turn a die to any side for this resource is super good. This die. So, all right, and it's a legendary, and its value is like, what, $30 right now? So
36.
All right.
Higher than Force.
We're moving on to hero events. So let's go ahead and start with this one.
So Caution, a 0-cost event, of course, blue. Remove 1 of your character dice to give a character 3 shields.
This is from Spirit of Rebellion, right?
At the
Caution?
Yeah, at the beginning of when this card came out, we all thought it was crazy because you thought you could do it to yourself. But you can't. But still, it's really good.
It's still crazy good.
3 shields. But no cost.
This is the card that Blue Heroes needed when, like, after Awakenings, Blue Heroes, they just couldn't stand up to all the damage.
But now these sort of have a
now
chance.
With the Caution, defensive stance was part of the Awakenings cycle, and it just wasn't enough. So yeah, Caution's an autoplay in a blue hero deck. All right, Field Medic, another hero Awakenings. Oh, this was an Awakenings card, but it's a hero event. Heal 2 damage from a character. This card is pretty much an autoplay in a hero red deck or any kind of hero red deck because you got to live, and 1 for 2 health is amazing. And then lastly, one of your favorite cards, Kai.
Hit and Run. Ambush, activate 1 of your characters. So now, for the new players, this probably looks terrible because what's the point of playing a card that just activates 1 of your characters? Well, it's got Ambush. So you can activate a character and then have an ambush to resolve their dice. It's like a Hit and Run is like a card that can give heroes...
Make you Django-ish.
Yeah,
or,
sort of like Jenga.
Yeah, and so when Po Maz was out, this was like the card.
Yeah,
roll out and hit you with thermals, roll out and hit you with U-Wing.
Kill 6
damage and it's still very powerful in Po Sabine, any kind of a hero range deck. Even R2-P2 plays Hit and Run. So,
yep.
All right, you guys, that is the 3 best hero events that we think, and we're going to give an honorable mention to this one card here. Guard, one of the best hero mitigation cards in the format. Probably another autoplay in hero. It does eat your dice, but it can remove like 2-3 dice for 0 cost. A lot of people complain about how this should be 1, right?
No, it shouldn't be.
I think it's good.
Because they've got Sith Holocron and all that stuff, so.
All right, moving on to neutral upgrades. And by the way, Guard is from Spirit of Rebellion. Neutral upgrades, we're going to start again with one of the oldest ones here that got a reprint.
Yep. So
go ahead and talk about that one.
So it'll be in for 2 years, right?
Yep. It'll be in for 2 years because of 2-player.
I think Flank was
Flank was also in 2-player. So you can see they reprinted 2 cards that we are saying are the best cards, some of the best cards.
So logistics, you might think like, why logistics? Well, because it can get you a second weapon in the first turn. Like, let's say you play, like I've been playing Cad Phasma. And
you mean Jango Phasma?
Jango Phasma. And I play hold that blaster down, roll out Phasma, get a resource, resolve the resource, put LL30. Pass my turn or do whatever, mitigate their dice or something with my other Phasma die, and then they roll out, and I've already got 4 dice on Jango first turn.
Yeah.
And it can just
or even just being able to get a 3-drop weapon first turn, right? So
handcrafted.
Yeah, resources are huge in this game. So for 0 cost, just doubling your resources, and then we got Flank also from Awakenings and got a reprint in 2-player starter set. 2-player set. Just unconditional removal other than the fact that you have to have a ready character, so you're just going to wait a little bit. You can usually remove a die. And then lastly, we've got Friends in Low Places. Why would you say this is like one of the best cards in the game?
One,
or
because,
made the biggest impact?
Well, it's a little bit low because it has a spotty out character, but still, looking at opponent's hand is already good.
Yeah.
And then getting rid of an event that costs 1 or less is even better.
Getting rid of these events, or Caution, or
just getting rid of Guard, Truce, Bait and Switch, any like good mitigation, Electroshock. It's just great.
Yeah, and so it's very thematic too. So it's kind of almost again one of those auto plays in any yellow deck. All right, so we're gonna do a quick honorable mention here for neutral cards, and those are gonna go to this blue hero card from Awakenings.
Deflect.
One of the most hated cards by many ranged players, right?
Yeah. Including me.
So from Awakenings, just being able to deflect a Millennium Falcon die to your face for half the amount of damage, it's so good. It's removal and damage, right? And then what about Truce? I mean, Truce almost made it, but it's also a new card from Empire at War.
I don't think there's been any other Empire at War top cards except Ancient. I can't remember.
That's played that much?
We
talked about X8.
Oh, right. But that wasn't
Oh, that didn't make our cut. Yeah, good point.
Truce is an ambush. Each player gains 1 resource. Didn't make the cut because it's new and we haven't really actually seen all of its power in it yet. But maybe the Legacy cycle at the end of that year will put maybe Truce up there.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to move into the villain events, which, again, villain events are tough. There's so many good ones. So we're going to go, again, with the earlier stuff first that were really good. This one is the best defense. It's from Awakenings. And this card, pretty much, it's still really powerful. And I think with Legacies coming out with battle droids and stuff, it's going to see even more play. But basically, it's a ability to remove 2 dice and just take 3 damage. So if you have like 2 mace dice showing there for 8 damage, you can just take the damage on your red stormtrooper. And it was played a lot in the fun cars decks, in Jango Bala Trooper, any stormtrooper deck, and still just being able to remove 2 dice for 1 cost. All right, and then here we got He Doesn't Like You.
Yes, He Does Not Like You. It's such a good card. Remove 1 of your dice, to remove an opponent's die. Like if you just play like a card that's removal that doesn't really do anything for you, it's just great because if you have a blank showing, you can just remove the blank and remove 1 of your opponent's die. It could be like a 4 on mace and just remove it from a blank. It's just great. Yeah,
it's a 0 cost, and we just want to honor the actor that played the guy who said he doesn't like you because he just passed away yesterday. Let's see, what was his name again? It was Alfie. Yes. They don't actually know the name of the guy, but the actor's name is Alfie Curtis, and he passed away recently. So honoring him with that card. And then lastly, we have a Spirit of Rebellion card, Doubt. Another auto-playing villains, right?
This is all mitigation.
And it's so powerful, just being able to I'd say 95% of the time, Doubt works. It just gets rid of the die and usually does less than what it was going to do before.
You probably think Bait and Switch should be on here. It was just such a hard decision on what to take out, but Bait and Switch is definitely an honorable mention here.
Yeah.
For 0 cost.
Bait and Switch should be 1 cost, people.
It shouldn't be. Ambush, turn one of your dice showing a resource to any side. It's a little bit of limitation, but still, it's just this great card to get. Roll at Django, turn his resources, hit 2 damage, and then just blast the face off. So
from Spirit of Rebellion, right?
Yep.
And then lastly, we have an honorable mention here for Isolation, just being able to remove a character dice for 1. Pretty much saw autoplay for the first 2 sets, and I'd say definitely blue villain. Still going to see play, yeah. So, and we got that brand new alt art for that, so very cool. All right, moving on to supports. We're almost done here, you guys. Here are the supports. We're going to, interestingly about supports, Awakenings didn't get any support love here. So here we got everything from Spirit of Rebellion. We got C-3PO. Why don't you talk about him?
C-3PO is a 1-cost support droid. He has an action, remove this die to resolve one of your dice as if it was showing a different symbol. Keep its original value. Now,
so much shenanigans.
So much shenanigans. U-Wing. You can do any
handcrafted lipo, Poe special. Yeah, Poe 2. And even just mill, being able to mill 4 cards that you have 4 shields or something. You turn it into 4 mill.
U-Wing's 3 right here. You could change it to 3 mill or 3 shields or 3 on anything. 3 disrupt. 3 indirect.
Yep, 3 indirect, exactly. We're going to be able to do any symbol. So next we have U-Wing here, a legendary from Spirit of Rebellion. Saw a lot of play right when it came out with Poe Maz, and is still probably one of the most powerful vehicles in the game. And especially once we get into more generics like Jawas and battle droids, this is going to see more play.
It can just go pew, pew, pew.
Being able to do 2 damage to each of opponent's characters, or giving each of your characters 2 shields, and then having no blanks. Amazing. And then lastly, we have Running Interference, a card that was played as soon as it came out from Empire at War into the Spirit of Rebellion. Sorry, a Sabine Ezra deck, but pretty much can be run in almost every hero deck to be able to slow your opponent down and be able to keep them from mitigating your dice. It is susceptible to rend, but still excellent card, and out of the supports, definitely gets has made an impact on the game, I think. All right, and we do have one honorable mention, which, maybe you could take Running Interference out and put this card in, because this card is huge.
Yes.
Why don't you talk real quick about this amazing card?
It's a 3-cost support vehicle. It's special, just dealing 4. You can get rid of resource, choke them.
4 indirect damage, yep.
Yeah, so it's just a good card.
That you can mitigate if you have resources, but nobody likes getting rid of resources.
Giving rid of 4 resources.
And you guys tell me if I'm wrong, but I've played this Y-Wing quite a bit, and I don't think it ever rolls blanks.
Mine rolls so
really?
many blanks.
Okay, because I've seen so many specials off that thing. All right, next we're going into the neutrals here. Again, starting with Awakenings, we've got It Binds All Things.
Yep, is a 1-cost support. Binds All Things can get big weapons for cheaper. Good first turn, just a great card to make a huge impact in the game.
Yep.
And no honorable mentions with this one.
No, this one was really hard. Really, the supports, Awakenings didn't have that much, and it's kind of interesting that the neutrals here are the best 2 that we have from Awakenings. But It Binds All Things, saving blue heroes, money has always been huge, and I think FFG realized that as they moved forward, being able to get Reaping the Crystal and stuff. But next we have Infamous, a card that saw a huge amount of play in Han Rey.
Yep.
And still sees a lot of play in Sabine Ezra. Just being able to give a yellow card ambush and make things faster is very powerful. So that was definitely a good pick. And then lastly, the last one's kind of hard to pick because we didn't see that many. This is Aftermath, Spirit of Rebellion. And we're thinking this is going to see more play.
Yes.
Right?
Because of battle droids.
Battle droids, Jawas, anybody, any deck where you kind of have this undying tech where the character is defeated. You have a lot of characters, 4 or 5 wide characters. So we're going to see more of that, I think. So we picked this Aftermath battlefield. No honorable mentions. Sorry, did I say battlefield? I meant support. All right, so villain Villain supports, on the other hand, there are
Have
a
a
lot
lot.
of. And so let's go again with the first here. We got. Why don't you talk about this evil card?
Backup Muscle is just a great card. It can deal 3 damage, basically unblockable 3 damage. Just really good. Best card. Still played a ton and will be played in any yellow aggro deck.
Yeah, and this is really hard, you guys. Imperial Inspection got nerfed, still playable, but I don't see anybody playing it that much. And so, but I think we're picking it because it made such a big impact on the game. Just being able to, it was the first thing where it would just like get rid of your upgrades, you know. And I mean, it returns it to your hand, but just losing the money there is huge, right? So which one did we pick was going to be the actual third one here? Salvage Stand? Okay, so Salvage Stand, we're saying, is the third of the top 3 support villain cards. It's from Spirit of Rebellion. Still played, just a 0-cost support where whenever you roll a resource, your opponent loses resource. So great choke ability. Obviously, both of these were played in Thrawn, which, of course, got nerfed. But I think we're going to see some more of that control coming out in Legacies, and it'll probably see more play. So moving forward, we got some honorable mentions here. Imperial Headquarters. Why is that an honorable mention?
Because it can make Revis's 3 for nothing, or the LR Sonic Cannons for cheaper. Though any cost of a die can be cheaper, like a resource, or Hound's Tooth, for example, is 4 resources for 1. It's just a great card. And then Hound's Tooth.
Hound's Tooth is a legendary from Empire War, and both of these are Empire War, so that's kind of why they're honorable mentions, because they're a little newer. We haven't seen a lot of play from these, but definitely Hound's Tooth, a 2-cost support vehicle. Look at that die side. I mean, so amazingly good. And then after you activate the support, you get to remove one of your yellow character dice to just make money. So both of these save or make money, and I think that's going to be huge as we move forward. Yeah. So honorable mention to these support villain vehicles or villain supports. All right, lastly, we've got battlefields. So we're going to pick the top 3, and we're going to start here with this Empire War battlefield. Awakenings battlefield. This is the Emperor's Throne Room, Death Star 2. The claim ability says turn one of your dice to a side, showing a special ability. Then you may resolve that die. So we saw this a lot, right?
We did.
In Awakenings. It was first used with Kylo Ren.
Yep.
And then later it was used with
Darth Vader.
Poe Maz.
Yep.
You don't see it as much anymore, right?
You could play it in Poe-Rey.
Yeah, you could use it in Poe-Rey. Maybe you could use it in Yoda moving forward. A lot more specials coming out. And then, let's see. Oops, let's do this one. This is from Spirit of Rebellion. Talk about that one for us.
Just gain a resource. Great card just to claim the battlefield, have 3 resources next turn.
And it's one of those cards that we talk about how, like, sometimes you don't want to play a battlefield that could hurt you. And although this could hurt you, in general, gaining a resource, it might speed up their ability to get weapons, but but just being able to get your own extra resources is huge. And lastly, here we have also from this one's also from Awakenings, Rebel War Room, Yavin 4. Claim, resolve one of your dice if it has a resource cost. You do not have to pay for it. So again, one of the things about this is that you just get to resolve one of your dice. You don't have to resolve it with a pay cost. But a lot of pay sides out there, and just being able to resolve a die very quickly is huge, but also may not hurt you so badly, right? So battlefields, top 3 that we thought were the most impactful, and then we've got 2 honorable mentions: Docking Bay from Spirit of Rebellion and Imperial Armory from Awakenings. Now, why would we say Docking Bay is a big one?
Well, now it's been played so much with Poe-Rey.
R2-P2, yep.
Yeah. Why do you have to correct me?
Sorry.
It's the exact same.
Poe-Rey, R2-P2, yeah, whatever. But yeah, Docking Bay.
It's just great to get zombie guards out.
You can also get It Binds All Things out.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
3PO, backup muscles. Yeah, I mean,
medical droid.
Yeah, so many cool things you can get out for free.
Because just a support. I thought it was a vehicle in the beginning, but it's just a support.
Yeah, just the fact it's a docking bay. And it's from your hand or discard pile. So as long as it's not in your deck, you get it for free. And then lastly, Imperial Armory did see a lot of play during Awakenings and also Spirit of Rebellion.
And I still play in some decks.
Yeah, I think you're playing it right now. Yep. If you're fast and you play a lot of guns or weapons, then this is huge. You know, just being able to save one cost at the end of your turn to play a weapon can make a big difference for the next round. All right, there you have it, you guys. Those are our top 3 in each category for the Awakening cycle. Please let us know what you think in the comments section. Please give us a like, or if you enjoy this kind of content, let us know.
Let's hope you don't rage on us.
Yeah, we're going to hope that you don't rage on us, but we know it's the internet. It happens. But everybody's going to have their own point of view here. And we love this game, hopefully as much as you guys do. We're excited about the new set and seeing what the next cycle brings. But we thought these were the most impactful.
Yep.
So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on T3 Gaming.